So different types of variations, just depending on what you want to do and what you want to get out of it. Sometimes it can be small groups, small spaces, looking for combination plays. This is just different variations of a wide passing. I would just make sure that you're probably limiting this to 5 players, 6 players max, so they can get as much repetition. You're managing the time as well, so you can keep it short and intense. You're looking at the detail of body shape. You're looking at when to spin off, when to receive, passing foot, receiving foot, all these little things that you want to bring into a session. Sometimes they're reminders. Sometimes you can manipulate the physical load to get a little bit more out of it, or even manage it and get less out of it. You can go right side, left side. You can change the variations here. Little bounce passes, add them in. Different types of progressions. Not too complicated. You want to build the player's confidence going into the session sometimes with these activities. Another idea is a passing square where you would have, again, this would be more low decision making but very, very high physical load in terms of the sprinting in short spaces. So the only rules are you can't pass diagonally back in the square and you can't pass back to where you received it. So the person that passes the ball always has to receive at a new angle and get there quickly. Players must take 2 touches. So open up, receive, pass, and that player should be there. So again, it's just an activity that these are 2 groups going with 3 players on each group. We've got pink square, blue square, and again you can see here how much the movement is important in it. Angles are important in it, and if you have 2 groups going against each other and trying to count the passes, you can see now that it becomes a competition. You can see it speeds up. Speeding up might lead to a mistake or 2 because they're trying to go against each other, but that's okay as well. So sometimes that can replicate the game where a ball might go astray or a mistake might happen. You might want to bring that out in a basic exercise sometime. And then it's just about progressing that there and deciding what you want out of your main session. I believe that if your session is to be on combination play and attacking, then maybe this here is just a basic diamond to start. You go around the diamond, again, just paying attention to angles, when to receive, when to check in, so you're never receiving the ball static, and get the detail right, way to pass, quality of pass, where does she want it. And then if you want to create different variations, you might be able to do that into the exercise. So if it's an attacking exercise, you might look at progressions that look to build a combination into goal. So in this one here, you've used the mini goal, so instead of going around the diamond now, it's a bounce pass. That player then receives it and then goes into the far corner. So just the progression of a warm-up gets them finishing. All players generally like playing into goals, so I try and do that as many times as possible with passing activities, just to engage them a little bit more, increase the tempo maybe, and then it can then progress into a crossing activity where the ball then goes wide and the other group is incorporated in it. Becomes a little bit more complicated. This one here is just something different, a variation, similar but different. Double diamond, and then it goes into different combinations into a mini goal. Again, something just a short 5-6 minutes before you go into the exercise. You can be as creative as possible or as complex as possible with the combinations, depending on where you want to take the players that day in terms of maybe physically or mentally. So it can start off real simple. Again, similar to the last one, the players typically enjoy playing the ball into a little mini goal, a little target, challenge themselves. And then the variations can be different combinations. So this one here, little give and go, and then into the mini goal. So again, once you incorporate combinations, are they consistent with things that you're working on in different areas. So this can be a wide player, checking in, checking out, double movement. Again, I would keep the group small for this, so they're generally always on the ball, they're generally always moving, so the intensity is high and the energy stays as high as possible from the group. And then you can coach within this. You can just go around. You might pick a player or two, you might pick a group or two and challenge them a little bit more than others. Some players might just want to ease into the training session, and you want to try and spark just that speed to go into the next activity when you probably have some competition. This one here, a little bit more complex, 2 or 3 bounce passes. So again, the more you add in, the more it's liable to break down sometimes, but that's okay as well, because they're going to experience that in the training session too. So different variations of those there. There's hundreds you can do, absolutely hundreds, but you always want to engage the players, something different every day, so they're seeing different pictures. You can also then move it into tactical patterns depending on what you want. This is a back 3 attacking pattern with centrally. Different variations, get the passers or the back 3 in different positions, so they might rotate. Looks like a 3-5-2. This one here is a traditional back 4. Again, advancing the ball with a fullback, getting those 2 centre backs high, longer passes, cross and finishing using the width, depending on what you want to get out of your team, depending on what you want to get out of the session. This one here is a higher starting point, so just different combinations playing off 2 supporting players in midfield, but again, different angles on the pass, different distances, different starting points, finishing with a cross which isn't from as wide as you might be. You might invert your wide players a little bit, so different variations. And again, this is more of an attacking one, trying to get players in the box or trying to get runners ahead of the ball. Just different principles that you want to build out. You can design your sessions through that. Again, sometimes the physical loads will depend on this as well.